Hello, YouTube. Good evening, good day, whatever time of day it is, whatever time of evening it is, wherever you are. I hope you're feeling blessed. This is the Herbal Mystic, and I'm back again, man, for another Changa report. Um, Once again, I know I didn't break through uh, into the higher realms, um, but I did end up into a realm again where all I can say is this time I did encounter a presence, and it felt like a female presence this time. And I felt like there were other beings with this female presence, but she was the one that I felt like was interacting with me and was like taking me on this ride. Is all I can say because it felt like I was on a ride. But I'm still trying to process just everything I went through. Um, and it's been about probably half an hour since I went through my experience, and probably spent the last 15-20 minutes dialoguing with the other people who were with me, and just trying to process what I encountered, because I must say that this wasn't like a lovey-dovey peace, um, entering into realms of unconditional love feeling at all. Like, this was actually quite uncomfortable and quite a hard experience while I was in it. After and coming out of it and reflecting, I felt that afterglow, and I felt like I had gained and learned a lot of important information, which I will try to share with you and put into words to the best of my ability, if that is even possible. I don't know, and I'll do my best. But for any of you cannabis smokers out there, any of you 710 heads, any of you who like to dabble with the concentrates, you can join me right now as I do a little dab and try to just calm my nerves a little bit and process what I experienced. Started off, I packed a little bit larger, maybe equal bowl of Changa to the what I had done on my second trip report, where I felt like I entered into that mandala, the pulsating mandala, and like I didn't only like see it pulsating from a distance, like in a black space, but like I moved into it, or it moved in. It, either I flew into it, or it moved over me, and I was just in a realm of like these tubes, like sliding around, getting like a cosmic massage. Um, so, like I said, I packed about the same size bowl. I put a little bit of some flour on top of it, some cannabis, and I hit it. After that first hit, man, I felt something. I got a good hit, and I felt like my whole body kind of like just do one of these, like compress, and like it was crazy. Cheers. So I felt my body compress and decompress, almost like a air brake in a truck or in a school bus, and it lets out the pressure. I took the second hit, and I saw my tapestries like that I have in my room start to move, like as if like there was a wind in my room. They began to move off my walls. And I saw one of them that's over here to the right. and like the shapes just started moving and pulsating like a mandala. They came off the painting and just started swirling and moving, and it was really, really beautiful. I took the third hit, and like as I was lighting it, like my bowl like was just like folding in on itself. And I barely got my bong back on the table, leaned back my eyes, closed my eyes, and as soon as I closed my eyes, bam, like I was just in this realm. Like it wasn't like the second trip where I saw the mandala like in a black space and from a distance. This time, like I closed my eyes and I was there. I was in this like realm that all I can describe the best was like the colors were like pastels, like pinks and blues and whites, and it just had a feeling of like against sliding, but it wasn't the same tunnels I'd been in before. But this time, like they had like a candy ribbon type, like at the barber shop, those like candy cane type, like things that used to be like the signs outside of barber shops. I don't know what they were called and how to better describe it, but it had like a candy cane, like barber stripe, like stripe type feel to this like realm, and I sensed this female presence, and like she didn't feel like she was full of love or welcoming, and she didn't feel like she was evil or like malevolent either. Like she just had this like I got this feeling of her just being like, here, you're here. While you're here, I'm gonna show you these things, and like I just got this like very uncomfortable sense of like this is where souls go on their way of blasting through into the like, other realms, like realms of light, like and I was being like rolled or folded or as this building or structure or whatever it was like rolling and folding all around me, like she would like pop out of like she'd pop out of the ribbon or whatever and she'd like form like and I'd see her, then she would go back and she'd become part of like this moving wall or just whatever it was, like these moving walls, and then like forms would pop out of these walls and stare at me, and then they would go back in, and like I had a real hard time. Like there was just so much information I was trying to process, and like I was getting frustrated because I was trying to take in all this information, and like I just got the sense of like not this unconditional love that everyone was talking about, and like other DMT trip reports or like this joy or peace. Like I got this really like this feeling of like loneliness and like even though like I wasn't in this realm of darkness or anything like that, I just got like this feeling of like loneliness and that like I don't want to be there, and that like this was a place that souls that haven't like worked on themselves in this life, like where they end up, and it's not a place like where you want to end up, and like I got the impression that these beings, like this lady, was like keeping me from like going further, into these realms of light, and like as I was rolling through this like or these walls were rolling over me in all different directions. Like I'd see these glimpses of like stained glass windows, like way high up, and like images I remember. I saw like crosses and like stars of David, and like symbols from other religions, and all these different things. As like these walls are going, like every now and then, way up from top, there would be like these little windows, stained glass windows, and I could see like sunlight or light coming through them, and then go back to these like pastel like cream walls, like candy cane stripe creamy walls of pinks and blues and whites, and like I just got this impression. I kept on asking, like I was like, "What are you guys like?" It just this realm felt so alien, and yeah, I forgot to mention before, like it went to like that walls. I just remember like this world, like something was just folding in, and I remember thinking like, "This is so alien," and like it's hard to describe, but I remember like I didn't feel like I felt very like lonely and unpleasant and like not loved. And I remember thinking like if this is like where the soul goes after life, like this sucks because I don't feel loved here at all. Like I feel so alone. And I was asking these beings, like, who are you? What are you? Like, it's crazy because I don't even believe in like demons or fallen angels or anything like that. But I asked, and it might have been from like just conditioning, like from back in the days when I was involved with the church and Christianity or whatever, because I have nothing to do with that anymore. I practice like Jewish concepts and Jewish mysticism and Orthodox Judaism to an extent, but definitely like I pursue the mystical traditions within that, and so I didn't even believe in these concepts, but I found myself asking these beings, "Are you demons? Like, are you fallen angels? Like, what are you guys? Are you guys like the Nephilim? You know, like the spirits of like the giants from the Book of Bereshit, you know, Genesis. Like, what are you beings? You know, like." And I just remember keep on being told, like, "Why are you asking? You already know. Like, you already know. Like, why are you asking this? You already know." And I remember I was just getting frustrated, and like I kept on getting, like, they kept on telling me, like, just like go with it, relax. And like I remember responding to them, like, how can I relax if like I can't trust you guys? Like, tell me who you are. And they wouldn't tell me, but they just like smiled, like, you already know. And and I just got the impression too, like, and then it switched over, and like I opened up my eyes, and like it was pitch black in my room, so I turned off the lights. Right after I hit it, I remember I reached up and I turned off like my little switch on on a fluorescent light by my bed, and I just remember opening my eyes, and like my room was just like moving. I saw like ethereal shapes just moving in my room in the darkness, and then closed my eyes again, you know, and I went back to that place, and I was just like, I felt like these beings were just like saying, like, you see, like, you're afraid, and because you're still attached to your body, like you're feeling fear because you haven't let go. Like, why you're afraid is because you're holding on to who you think you are in that body, but that's not who you are. Like, that was the impression I was getting, you know. And they were like taunting me or teasing me. They're just like kind of like speaking like matter of factly, like, and you already know this, you know. They were telling me like, and I kept on like saying like, why don't I feel love? Like, where, you know, and all this. And then like I kept on like, why don't I feel love? And I remember them being like, oh, here comes the pity party. Like, here comes the pity party. Like, you got to let go of yourself. Like, kind of like you're so attached to yourself. See, you're so focused on yourself. Like, you're self-centered. Like, we told you this already, you know, like, you already know this type of thing. And then like I rolled over on my bed, and I remember like to my side, like I could see just this glowing white light, and it was just so warm and peaceful and love. And I just wanted to get over to where that light was, but I couldn't. It was like off to the side. And I remember thinking like that where I was in this unpleasant realm that was still so beautiful. Like, the colors were so beautiful, and everything I saw, these images, like there was nothing scary about them. Like, it was beautiful. Like, what was scary was that it was just it's hard to put into words what frightened me. You know, I just felt like loneliness there. I felt like this is what happens when souls that didn't work on themselves end up, you know, and that the whole point of this life is for a soul to like work on itself so that it can enter into those realms of light, you know, and that there's like varying realms of existence that like a soul will end up depending on what it's done here in this life, you know, and that every action that we take in this body, like that it affects us after we leave these bodies, whether for good or bad. And the impression I got for myself was that I need to work on loving more and being more merciful, being more kind, like all these altruistic, you know, characteristics I need to improve upon and work on. And like, it was a really unpleasant feeling while I was experiencing it. Like, even though it was beautiful, and I think the biggest and most unpleasant part was like I just had all these questions that weren't being answered, and there was so much information that I was trying to like process and analyze, and then like I was like projecting like concepts and ideas and fears like onto these beings or into this realm, like trying to like place them into these categories, like. And it was really crazy, you know, because despite like how confused I was over not understanding all the information and trying to process it, like I had such a clarity, like that I was asking questions, and like I was able to think about like things from my past and philosophies that I've studied and religious aspects and dogmas and doctrines, and like, and that was my problem, you know. And I think that's what they were trying to show me, is that like you feel lonely and lost and you feel fear because you're in this realm and you're still attached to yourself. Like, you can't bring both here. Like, you can't bring your body and your soul. If that makes any sense, like, there's the physical and there's the spiritual. And for whatever reason, human beings, like, on this world, we have both, you know. And in this planet and in this physicality, in this reality, it works But in those spiritual realms, like, we can't bring the physical. And so I feel like I didn't smoke enough again to break through. And so I was like stuck in this bardo state, or in this like purgatory, in this like realm that isn't the end by any means, or even close to what the possibilities of our conscious minds can take us. But I feel like this was a place that all travelers in these realms has to like get past, has to go through, and that these beings, maybe this is just one realm of many realms that are like realms that we have to break through before we get to these realms of light. And I just feel that like the realm that I was in tonight, I don't want to be there, you know, and I don't want my soul to end up there forever, which is the feeling like I got, you know, when I was there. Because that this is where souls go that haven't done what they need to do here on Earth, you know, and that's why they didn't learn the lessons that they needed to learn, and that's where they end up, whether forever for a period of time. And it felt really lonely. And then again, like I was reminded before this experience ended, that my loneliness and the feelings of fear stemmed from my attachments to this world, to my body, to this flesh. And then I was left with like hope and that light and that like that wanting to go to that other place that I was just like being held from me, you know. But like I had this impression that like I will get there, but I have a lot of work to do, and I need to like work on myself here and now, and however much time I'm given, you know, to be a better person and a better human being. And ultimately, like, this has been a great experience, as challenging and as hard as it was. Like, it's amazing, and I'm going to be processing this for some time, I'm sure. And you know, people can take away from these experiences with Changa, with DMT, whatever they want. You know, you can say this is all just our subconscious and all in our minds, and that very well could be, very well could be. And I can see that. You know, I can see how with our minds we project some of these things. But I also believe that it could be very well a doorway and a pathway into other dimensions, other realms of existence, and other possibilities that we just frankly don't understand yet and can't comprehend yet, you know. But it's definitely a tool, I believe, for anyone pursuing spirituality, mystical experiences, mysticism, self-improvement. Um, I highly recommend dimethyltryptamine, Changa, as a tool. However you choose to use it and administer it. So I'm sorry for going a little long with this video. I hope that it was a blessing and that it was enjoyable, somewhat entertaining. Sorry again, I don't have a better camera and I don't have a better production of these videos, but as for right now, man, it's just me sharing my thoughts as I explore consciousness and spirituality. I wish you guys all the best blessings and best wishes. Until next time, it's the Herbal Mystic. See you, YouTube.